Welcome to Virtual Japan as we are here today for round number 6.
Oh, Pearson gets into the 95 of Fultz. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona and away. Joe for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Doms, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now as we've got 3 wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 the lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Tonight's broadcast and poll award presented by Evan Pienta Designs. Welcome back, race fans, to the Rescreened LLC late model series here at the Spark Racing League at the North Wilkesboro Raceway. As always, I'm your host, James Eastbring. The action 1080p 60 frames a second every Monday night, and tonight is our Crown Jewel event, where the top 5 drivers will be taking home a bit of a payout here today, and it's guaranteed to be non-stop action. As always, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on. The drivers will frequently have this broadcast pulled up on a separate monitor or device, and if they don't, they just about always go back and watch this thing over. We see Mr. John Rapp out there in the spectator area cheering these drivers on. Now, right now, we have an empty heat race, as I believe it's just going to be the iRacing safety car circulating here. Safety truck, there it goes across the screen. So the safety truck will get some laps here. We've got Kate Callahan joining us. She's cheering on James Barker. As we sit quietly, patiently, waiting for today's feature event, we have this beautiful screen of, I believe that's going to be turn 1, as we continue to roll behind the iRacing safety truck as no drivers currently out on track. A bit of an anomaly here. It still shows we're under a formation lap in the heat race, so not quite sure what's happening with this one. Sam Stoner enjoying the scenic view here in North Wilkesboro. Live timing says we're on the green flag, but again, no drivers out on track for this heat race, so we should be rolling into the next session. I would have expected it to happen about a minute and a half ago. I've got to say this might be a first for us up here in the broadcast booth. Sam Stoner confirming it should end after it has gone green. So we're at 1 minute of green flag racing here. I wonder if I can pull up a live timing tower. No, that doesn't work. iRacing doesn't know what to think about that one. So let us know, everybody, where you're from, who you're expecting to do well tonight here at the Crown Jewel. If you're just joining us, welcome. As we wait for the brief intermission to close up here at North Wilkesboro before tonight's feature event starts. And then we're going to see 24 drivers all battling to take home some cash prizes here. Not crash prizes, I should say. And that reminds me, let's get a poll going here as the checkered is out here for the heat race. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. A brief warm-up, should be about 1 minute, and then we're going to get things started here today. 24 drivers have made their way out here for the feature event. They've got 2.5 minutes to get these cars warmed up. And then we're going to roll straight into this feature event. We got Stephanie Ulrich joining us from the spectator area. And again, it's a very brief 2-minute warm-up. The last opportunity these drivers have to scope out the track and see if there's been any changing conditions. It's going to be a very, very busy racetrack time for the main event. And again, 24 drivers have made the show here tonight. Justin Brooks, already the fastest here in the warm-up session. Now, this is just for bragging rights and for a little bit of extra seat time for these drivers. And we're starting to get some votes coming in as well. Right now, off the rip, fans thinking that we're going to have over 6.5 cautions. Now, why the half? I don't have a good reason, but it was suggested to me by a driver before today's feature event. We got Kyla and Rose. Want to shout out the number 77 machine. That's going to be James Barker and the number 77. There's Barker out on screen. Fishtailing a little bit, that number 77. That's Caleb Hill in the 01 machine just ahead of him here in the warm-up session. And for the attentive fans out there, you'll see how much drivers are sliding around here at North Wilkesboro. Before qualifying, every driver we spoke to was saying that the track is very fast, very loose, tough to keep the power down. As James Barker is going to come down pit road, and we're going to wrap up the warm-up session here at North Wilkesboro, the Crown Jewel event here at the Rescreened LLC, a late model regional tour. And we're going to throw the checkered flag here in the warm-up session. And it is time to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Ulrich here cheering on Benson Weaver, saying he's got something in the back pocket. And let's go through the grid for today's main event. Winning the Pienta Designs Pole Award, Justin Brooks in the top spot. RJ Williams starting second. Scotty Phillips starting third. Ryan Phillips starts fourth. Ryan Rose starting fifth. Johnny Rapp starting sixth. Scott Austin starting seventh. David Hill starting eighth. Patrick Oberstadt starting ninth. Dylan Pott starting 10th. Lucas Longmire starts 11th. We've got Devin Jack starting 12th. Cycling it on back. Bob Belshaw starting 13th. Caleb Hill starting 14th. Sean Johnson starting 15th. Robert Brope starts 16th. Steven Oberstadt starting 17th. Jeff Stiles starts 18th. Clifton Simmons starting 19th. Benson Weaver starts 20th. James Barker starting 21st. Dave Grajewski starting 22nd. Thomas Bergeron starts 23rd. And Hunter Cole will round out the 24 drivers here in the feature event. Waiting for that iRacing safety car to come down pit road. And we also have the Fans' Choice Award available and open here tonight. You can vote for your favorite drivers. The green flag is out here at North Wilkesboro, and already there's going to be carnage on the start-finish line. Scott Austin's tied up in that one. I think Lucas Longmire, Clifton Simmons also going to be tied up. So not how we wanted to start the evening off here. Let's get the replay queued up. On camera is Scott Austin, the number 8 machine. Let's see where things go wrong here. A little bit of a checkup on the inside line. Austin gets careened around. The number 88 machine of Lucas Longmire able to avoid heartache. Clifton Simmons was hard on the binders, able to avoid the incident. And that is going to be our first caution of the evening. Already starting to see some votes coming in for a few of these drivers in the Fans' Choice Award. So we're going to continue under eye pacing here, giving the field a bit of a chance to reset as a few drivers will get the wave around here. Looks like that's Lucas Longmire with a damaged nose on the 88 machine who's going to get the wave around, as well as I believe Clifton Simmons just ahead in the 38. Scott Austin, the number 8, he came down pit road to try and get that machine hammered back into shape. So Justin Brooks is going to get another opportunity to nail the start there. And that number 33 machine. Other than that, not much has really changed as far as the lineup goes, especially in the top 5. Ryan Phillips and Johnny Rapp both up one spot early on. Apologies, as I might have just picked up some water there on the broadcasting mic. So Brooks running up against the wall in the marbles, trying to keep the heat low in the tires, hoping he's going to get a green flag run here tonight. %69% of our viewers thinking we're going to have over 6.5 cautions here tonight. The safety truck's down pit road, and we are green flag racing once more. Looks like I just saw Johnny Rapp getting squeezed out by Ryan Rose there. Here comes David Hill, the number 43 machine, trying to get some momentum built up. Brooks gets a great launch up front, and he is going to enjoy that clean air. We got somebody blinking ahead of Rapp. That's going to be Ryan Rose, the 078 machine. A little bit further back, I saw some bumping and grinding going on there. Devin Jack up 4 spots, number 49 machine. As Dylan Potts has pressure from Patrick Oberstadt in the 41. Oberstadt hugging the inside line, trying to muscle up alongside that number 2. Gonna dive it in deep under the brakes as Oberstadt has to catch the slide there. That'll allow Jack to hold on to 8th. Potts still sitting in 9th. Behind these guys, still great racing, as who is that? Looks like it's going to be Jeff Stiles, Bob Belshaw, the number 44 machine. right around that top 10 spot where Patrick Oberstadt is, the 41 seems to be where a lot of the action is. Drivers running nose to tail. There's Potts, Oberstadt, Hill, nose to tail, and behind them looks like Brooks, Johnson, Styles starting to close up here a little bit. I think I just saw Potts at number 2 dip a little bit of a tire. Oh, and around goes, who was that? Was that Hill or is that Oberstadt, I think? Oberstadt parked in a precarious spot there. The 41 slides it around and gets it pointed back in the right direction, but that's going to be our second caution of the night. So we're focusing on Oberstadt. That 41 machine was running very well. The number 2 machine was just ahead, but he's going to get a hearty shove from the 01. That's Caleb Hill. We'll get both those drivers tangled up together. Oberstadt wisely waits for a clean opportunity to slide that thing around. And that'll be our second caution of the night here at North Wilkesboro for the Crown Jewel event. So if you hear that, that's Brooks and Williams bouncing off the rev limiter here, trying to burn up a little bit extra fuel while they're under caution. Trying to get on board with one of these top 2 drivers to listen to the rev bombs here at North Wilkesboro. How's that for a good timing? That's on board with RJ Williams, that number 21 machine, trying to lighten the fuel load a little bit here. Let's see, hard charger out on track is going to be James Barker, the 77. He's up 7 spots early on here. So we're tucked in behind that iRacing safety truck. Curious to see if we're going to go double file, if we're going to remain single file for the restart. Single file it is as the safety truck's down pit road. Brooks on the throttle. Now, very cool to see Ryan Phillips, Scotty Phillips, the matching painted machines there. As Ryan Rose, the 078 machine, pulls up alongside Phillips. That's going to be the battle for 4th. Seems like that outside line so far a little bit faster. But Phillips gonna try and defend as Rose tries to muscle his way up the inside line here at North Wilkesboro. Johnny Rapp, number 52 machine, gonna try and follow Rose through here. Looks like Rose just can't quite get clear here of Phillips. And there we go. Rose is gonna move his way up into 4th. Scotty Phillips drops back to 5th. Up front, it's Brooks, Williams, and Ryan Phillips. 1, 2, 3. If we go a little bit further back, you've got some side-by-side racing. Dylan Potts, Sean Moonpie Johnson. Johnson working the inside line against that number 2 machine of Potts. Right behind there's Jeff Styles, the number 85 machine, looking to get some ground going. James Barker, the 77's grabbed another position. That's going to make it 8 so far here tonight. As for the most part, looks like we're going to go single file for a little bit here. Maybe try and get some heat in the tires. As David Hill, the number 43 machine, finds himself squeezed between Rapp and Jack. As the field's starting to bunch up. Now, drivers know early on the race when the tires are at their best, that's the time to try and make some big moves. But it seems like most of the field very equally matched on pace. Dave Grajewski looking for his 8th pass. This time it's going to maybe be against Belshaw's 44 as Dade pulls alongside, but Belshaw has the better drive off the corner. Grajewski up 7 spots from where he qualified. And Belshaw is going to be able to defend there in the 44. Johnny Rapp, the number 52, qualified in 6th, still running 6th out on track. I saw somebody getting a little bit loose back there. That was Robert Probst, the number 5 machine, was able to hold on to it. That's going to put Johnson in a striking position here. Probst able to hold on to that 9th place position. He's up 7 positions, but a reminder to the fans, it's the top 5 that pays out here. The crown jewel in North Wilkesboro. That's Brooks, Williams, Phillips, Rose, and another Phillips currently holding up that top 5. As somebody was beating down the wall there, that was Devin Jack, the 49. A bit of a mistake. That's going to allow Probst to look to the inside line of the 49. Looks like Jack collects himself and keeps the throttle on as he's putting the pressure on David Hill in that battle for 7th. Hill, the number 43 machine. The grayish, and I dare say that's maybe even a pinkish red on the side of Hill's race car. And Jack really putting the pressure on here. You're on board Devin Jack, the number 49. Our fastest Canadian out on track at the moment. He was all over the bumper of David Hill. And I think Jack knows that he's got Robert Probst right behind. Can't afford any little mistake. Or Probst, that number 5 machine, is going to try and wiggle by. Things are getting a little bit tighter up front as well as Ryan Phillips is under fire from Ryan Rose. Rose, the 078 machine, hugging the inside line. Ryan Phillips, number 27, up against the wall, still side by side here as we dive into turn 1. Now, Rose can get down there under braking, but can he keep the corner exit as they trade a little bit paint there? Banging the doors against each other. RJ Williams, number 21, running in 2nd, has a rear view full of that battle for 3rd. Still side by side for 3rd. Phillips and Rose here to put on a show for the crown jewel. On board with Scotty Phillips. He's watching his brother try and hold on to the 3rd as they remain side by side. And you could not fit a piece of paper between those two drivers. Heading down the backstretch here at North Wilkesboro. Phillips shows ahead by just about 1/100th of a second. Rose might have forced the issue there. He's going to try and slide up ahead of Ryan Phillips, but can't quite get the track opening. I wonder, is Rose using up a little bit more tire, hugging that inside line? As Ryan Phillips staying right there with him, refusing to yield the spot. That 078 of Rose can't come up onto the track to get that optimal corner exit. As it looks like Phillips Gonna secure the third place spot, keeping Rose at bay. I'm curious to see, did Rose maybe use up a little bit more tire in that charge than he was looking for? Your top two still Brooks and Williams. Phillips, Rose, Phillips round out the top five in those cash payout positions, but we've got another incident reported. Oh, and it's going to be a big one. Dave Grajewski, Lucas Longmire, Hunter Cole, Caleb Hill. Let's see what on earth happened here and where it was caused. There's Grajewski ahead, the number 6 machine. Oh, Grajewski's going to get punted here, it looks like. Was that the 01 of Caleb Hill? The 41 of Patrick Oberstadt, I think, was also tied up in that one. And look at this. It is a parking lot. Clifton Simmons able to slide on through there. Lucas Longmire had some big hits on the 88 machine. So Dave Grajewski takes a tow back down pit road. You've got Scott Austin, Patrick Oberstadt, Clifton Simmons, Lucas Longmire have all driven down pit road on their own accord, but I think Grajewski has thrown in the towel here. We're seeing some more votes come in, both for the over-under on 6.5 cautions as well as the Fans' Choice Award that's open here tonight. And these guys really on the throttle trying to burn up some fuel here. And green flag racing, our first double file restart of the evening. I just saw Ryan Phillips and Ryan Rose leaning on each other in the battle for third. Right behind them, Johnny Rapp, Scotty Phillips also trading a little bit of paint here in the battle for fifth. We got Buddy Barker joining us, cheering on James Barker, the number 77. Barker still our hard charger, out on track, up 8 positions so far here this evening, as this looks like it could be an exciting few laps here, as we've got a lot of drivers side by side, beating and banging a little bit of body work. Cautions tend to breed cautions, and we've got the field stacks back up together now. We did get a report Dave Grajewski did roll back out on track in the number 6 machine. Good to see Rob Liedl join us, the spectator. A bummer to not see him out on track here for the Crown Jewel event, the Rescreened LLC Late Model Regional Tour. Here's the battle for 10th. Styles versus Brobst right behind them. Potts and Barker side by side. Barker looking to make his 9th spot gained here at the historic raceway. Potts staying down the inside. Looks like Barker and Hill had a little bit of contact there. No fouls. Everybody's able to get through it nice and clean, but a little bit of excitement keeping the blood flowing for these drivers. Johnny Rapp hold on to 7th as he's got Sean Johnson tucked in right behind. I heard a little bit of bodywork crunching, didn't quite see it. Caleb Hill, Bob Belshaw, James Barker in a battle for 13th. Looks like Hill's going to squeeze up the inside line against Barker, but here comes Belshaw in the 44 machine. So we had Brock Ulrich asking how long the track is here. It's about 0.62 miles here. The historic North Wilkesboro Raceway. Jeff Stiles, the number 85 machine. He's up 8 spots. He is going to currently hold the Hard Charger Award. As you can see, Robert Probst in tow. David Hill sitting ahead here. Every time we turn our heads, there's side-by-side action as Belshaw and Hill remain door to door. Scott Austin's number 8 machine sitting and watching this one unfold. Seems like a very difficult night for most of these drivers to make passes. Benson Weaver, James Barker going to go side by side. Barker seems to be falling down the stands a little bit. I wonder if this is tire wear starting to be a factor for these drivers. Austin down about 8 positions here as he battles side by side with Hill. Patrick Oberside, the number 41 machine, was tied up in some shenanigans early on here. Looking to make some passes, but going to be careful to keep that car here until the end. And if we go back up front, a very heated battle for 3rd as Brooks and Williams 1st and 2nd running single file. Right behind them, Rose and Phillips have not really been able to break away from each other. And there's Scotty Phillips to lend his support to Ryan's 27 machine. Rose really working that inside line on the brakes as Ryan Phillips trying to carry a little bit more corner speed. Sam Stoner letting us know that the cars are going to get a little bit looser as the run progresses and the drivers really lean on that back right tire. I just saw Scotty Phillips, number 23 machine, kicking up a little bit of dirt against the wall here at North Wilkesboro. As it looks like Clifton Simmons has some sort of problems in the 38. He's going to come down pit road. Looks like Ryan Phillips almost gave a little bit of a bump there to RJ Williams. Rose holding on to the 4th place spot after he wasn't able to get a charge built up against Ryan Phillips. But now Scotty Phillips going to try and follow his brother in that 23 machine a little bit higher in the standings. Rose might get relegated back to 5th here. Now that's not all bad as the top 5 is going to get paid at the end of this Triple Crown event. Rose and Scotty Phillips side by side for 4th. Devin Jack in 6th, tucked in behind. Unfortunately, Dave Grajewski has retired the number 6 machine, pulling down pit road and then taking a tow. So Rose is going to indeed fall back to 5th. I'm very worried that Rose might have cooked up the tires a little bit in that charge up towards the front. As I think with those Phillips brothers working together third and fourth to stay in the payout spot, they're going to be pretty tough to get around. Now we are past the halfway mark. Drivers have been displayed the cross green and white flags. As it looks like Rose getting a little bit tail happy there. Keep an eye out on Devin Jack's 49 machine. He's been kind of biding his time over here at the first half of the race. And I think it's going to be about the point of the run where we're going to see those drivers who had tire savings on the forefront of their mind try and make something happen. Phillips and Scotty Phillips and Ryan Rose, side by side. Yeah, I agree. I think Stoner and I just noticed the same thing at the same time. Devin Jack just kind of cruising here. Jack has about 0.3 up over Sean Johnson. That's another driver I would not be surprised to see in the top 5 by the time this is all said and done. And look at this, Rose tucked in behind the two Phillips brothers. And we're going to go 2 wide and 2 rows deep here. You've got Ryan Phillips, Scotty Phillips side by side for third. Ryan Rose and Devin Jack side by side for fifth. Sean Moonpie Johnson enjoying the show from the cockpit of that number 32. As I think I just saw a little bit of lap traffic ahead. That was James Barker, who's going to pull down pit road. Not wanting to get tied up in this race for the lead. Brooks and Williams hold on to first and second. Ryan Phillips and Scotty Phillips side by side for third, as well as Jack and Rose side by side for fifth. A little bit further back, I just saw Johnny Rapp, David Hill having their own side by side for the 9th place position. Did not expect to be calling so much side-by-side action here at North Wilkesboro. These guys are putting on a great show, and look who has entered the top 5. It is Devin Jack in the 49 machine. Things are starting to get a little bit bunched up here from 4th place back as Ryan Phillips holds on to the number 27. Rose and Jack side-by-side for 5th. Johnson and Hill kind of biding their time as here comes Johnny Rapp, the number 52 machine. Rapp always good when it comes to saving tires. So this is going to give Ryan Phillips and Scotty Phillips 4th and 3rd a bit of breathing room, as now Rose is going to have his own battle with Devin Jack, pod the number 49 machine. Rose still on the inside line, the 078. And more lap traffic ahead. That's going to be the number 86 of Thomas Bergeron. Trying to hop out of the way of the pack here. Oh, and it's going to force us into a 3-wide situation. Briefly, Rose and Jack make contact. Jack's going to get pushed back to 7th now, just like that. Knocked out of the top 5 as we're still 3 wide trying to navigate traffic. David Hill looking for a big send, the 43 machine up the inside line of Johnny Rapp. You've also got Jeff Stiles, the number 85 machine, tucked in behind, but that's going to make Sean Moonpie Johnson our hard charger. He's up 9 spots. Seeing a lot of votes coming in for the Fans' Choice Award. You can vote for your favorite driver out on track here tonight. At the end of the season, they'll be taking home some sweet, sweet prizes. Going to be interesting to see if Devin Jack, that 49, can remount a charge here after catching a little bit of bad luck trying to funnel down to 3 wide, facing some lap traffic. Hill and Sykes remain side by side for 9th. Styles really working here to hold on to it, but Hill on that inside line keeps them honest, but we've got another caution. And it's going to be Patrick Oberstadt, the 41 machine. Oh, is going to hug the wall. Gets it turned around, and let's see what brought out that fourth caution of the night here. Does Oberstadt get a little bit of help? Looks like maybe a little bit of contact there with a 44. They get linked up together. And around goes Oberstadt. That was Bob Belshaw who's going to be tied up in that one. And that will be the fourth caution of the evening. Now, I don't want to hit ourselves with the commentator's curse here. But I'm willing to say tonight's been a little bit cleaner than I was expecting. Now, I'm sure now that it's been said, everybody's about to go wad up some perfectly good race cars. These guys trying to save for burn up fuel is spectacular. We're gridded up, double file here. It's going to be Williams and Brooks on the front row. And we are green flag racing once more. The Triple Crown at North Wilkesboro, the Rescreened LLC Late Model Regional Tour. Brooks off to a good start. Ryan Phillips, Scotty Phillips going to be side by side for third as Scotty tucks in behind that number 27 of his brother Ryan. A little bit further back, it's a bit of a meat grinder. There's Sean Johnson in sixth. Devin Jack, Johnny Rapp side by side for seventh. Looks like Rapp got bumped a little bit wide there from Jeff Styles, the number 85 machine. Now Jack is going to be hungry to get back up towards the front here and get back in a cash paying position. And Ryan Rose staying aggressive in the 078 as well. Wants a little bit further up inside the top five. Justin Brooks, not worried about tire management, just clicks the fastest lap of the race with an 18.87. Able to cool those tires a little bit under caution. So I think right around that fourth, fifth, sixth place position, there's going to be a lot of action as drivers know that they're just outside of a cash paying position. A little bit further back, there was Dylan Potts and Robert Brope side by side. Also looks like Steven Oberstadt, the number 3 machine, taking a peek to the inside line. Pinson Weaver, the number 1, also here in this battle. Oh, somebody's up against the wall. I think that may have been lap traffic hopping out of the way. Dylan Potts running along clean. Number 3 machine has just gained that spot over Robert Brobst. Right behind Brobst, you've got Weaver and Patrick Oberstadt side by side. Hunter Cole's going to come down pit road. There is Weaver working the outside line against Patrick Oberstadt. It's getting a little bit squirrely there as Oberstadt and Robert Brobst able to hold on to it, but that's going to allow Weaver to capitalize. If he can make this stick against Brobst, that's going to be his 4th spot gained here this evening. And just like that, Weaver makes it 4 spots gained against Brobst's number 5 machine. Back up towards the meat grinder. There's Sean Johnson trying to fend off Devin Jack in the battle for 6th, but keep an eye out. 8th place driver Jeff Stiles, the number 85. Our current hard charger is up 10 positions gained so far here this evening. Rose in the hot seat here in that 5th place position. Johnson's going to look to the inside line, the blue and white 32. A little bit of a tap there against Rose's quarter panel. Johnson was able to lift to avoid spinning the 078 machine. So it's starting to bunch up here a little bit. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Rose, Johnson, and Jack. Stiles still sitting in that 8th place spot. Needs to grab 3 more positions here. With about 28 laps left to go to get into a money payout. But the fact that these drivers made the show is quite a feat in and of itself. As, man, Johnson has the line out of turns 3 and 4, but just can't get the power down that 32 to facilitate that pass against Ryan Rose. And every time he can't quite get there, that allows Devin Jack sitting in 7th to close the pace and try and make his way around Johnson. I think I just saw some 3 wide, which is never good at North Wilkesboro as the 01 machine of Caleb Hill backs out of a possible 3 wide situation. Ahead of him, that's Johnny Rapp, Patrick Oberstadt. Hill's going to try the outside line. As Justin Brooks makes his way out of turns 3 and 4, your race leader, we get ready to click it over. 25 laps left to go here at North Wilkesboro. Johnson really working hard here against Ryan Rose. Deep on the brakes goes Johnson, too deep, losing the back end, gets into Rose. It's going to be an incident. And it looks like Johnson's going to get the worst end of it as he pulls back out in traffic. And here comes the hits. As everybody piling in here, I think Johnny Rapp got collected in that one. So there's the incident between Johnson and Rose. Devin Jack also gets a piece of it. We're nowhere to go. And then Johnson doesn't hold the brakes, backs up into traffic. The number 3 with a huge hit. Johnny Rapp getting punched up into the air. Oh, and into the safety gate as he got tagged by Patrick Oberstadt, the 41. The 01 machine also giving a big hit there to Johnny Rapp. And I think I just saw at the tail end of that, Robert Brobst making a little bit of contact. Brobst was just feeling left out and wanted to hit something. So that's going to be our 5th caution of the night. We're getting closer and closer to that poll here in the spectator area about how many cautions we're going to have. don't think listening to these drivers try and burn off fuel is ever going to get old for me up here in the booth. Something about panic revs on a Monday night. So it's going to be less than 20 laps left to go here. It's going to be Brooks Williams, your front row. Ryan Phillips, Scotty Phillips, your second row. Ryan Rose and Jeff Styles, your third row. Styles keeping his nose clean. He is now up 12 positions so far here tonight. We're good up double file behind our iRacing safety truck that dives down pit road. It's going to be 19 laps left to go off the restart. And we are green flag racing once more here at North Wilkesboro. Brooks and Williams side by side. Scotty Phillips, Ryan Phillips side by side for third. Right behind them, that's Jeff Styles and Ryan Rose. Jeff Styles, our 85 machine, running great here. He's in sixth, just one outside of the money here. And still, Rose and Styles, I think for majority of this race, Rose has found himself side by side with somebody during today's feature event. Now it's going to be Jeff Styles, the number 85 machine, keeping Rose on his toes. Styles working the outside line, Rose hugging the inside. You can see the right side of Styles 85 a little bit scratched up here. And this has allowed Scotty Phillips and Ryan Phillips third and fourth a little bit of a breakaway. They're hoping we can go caution free till the end of this thing. And it looks like that's Scott Austin, number 8 machine, working the inside line against Jeff Styles. Austin trying to make it a 2-for-1 here as he pulls up to the inside line of Ryan Rose, the 078, but it looks like Styles giving a little bit of a bump draft there to the 078 to keep that momentum going. Austin showing up into sixth. He's about 2/10 off the back of Ryan Rose, still in that final money spot. The Phillips brothers, Scotty and Ryan, still going side by side for that final podium spot. As we are 12 laps left to go here at North Wilkesboro. Brooks and Williams a comfortable lead out front. Phillips and Phillips side by side for third. And then if we go back to Ryan Rose on the hot seat, that's where all the action is. Everybody's trying to get their way into the money here. Oh, here comes Scott Austin looking to work his way into the top 5 against Ryan Rose. Scotty Phillips, Ryan Phillips still side by side for third. Looks like Austin gonna move his way up into a money spot here. Let's see, does Ryan Rose fire back? He looks to the inside line. No, Austin carries a little bit more momentum. Now, these drivers are about 1 3/4 seconds back from Ryan Phillips and Scotty Phillips. We're gonna call that Phillips squared from here on out to save myself some breath up here in the booth. But Rose wants to get back into that top 5 position. And they're really not, they're actually losing time to the top 3 drivers. That is allowing things to stack up a little bit. There's David Hill, Patrick Oberstadt. A little bit further back, I see Devin Jack, Dylan Potts, Jeff Styles, Steven Oberstadt, all in the fray here. The laps rapidly clicking off. 8 laps, 7 laps left to go here at North Wilkesboro. Plenty of time left to do some punting to try and take home a paycheck, but drivers have to be careful. If they cause an incident, they'll receive the EOL and see those cash prizes yanked away from them. And I can't believe how hard Scotty Phillips and Ryan Phillips have been battling here for third. James Barker joined us from the spectator area. A bummer to see him out of the car since he was at one point our hard charger of the evening. 5 laps left to go here at North Wilkesboro. Scotty Phillips, Ryan Phillips still side by side for third. The brothers in identical painted machines. Ryan Phillips, number 27. Scotty Phillips, the 23. Scott Austin still holding on to that 5th place position. On track, it's going to be Steven Oberstadt. Is our hard charger currently up 8 spots. And still Ryan Phillips and Scotty Phillips going at it. Now, these two drivers are about 3 seconds back from the top 2. It was a big blink there from Ryan Phillips, number 27, a precarious spot to be in. But as they're 3 seconds back from the race lead, they're still 1.8 seconds up over Scott Austin, who holds on to 5th. 2 laps left to go. We get ready to unfurl the white flag at the start-finish line. It's Brooks, Williams, 1st and 2nd. Phillips and Phillips versus each other in 3rd. White flag is out here at the Crown Jewel. Neither of their brothers gonna let each other have it here. Here comes Justin Brooks for the final time at North Wilkesboro. Put your hands together as Brooks picks up the Crown Jewel win. RJ Williams 2nd, and who's gonna be at the line for the brothers? It's gonna be Scotty Phillips by 0.02 of a second in that number 23 machine. Congratulations to the 33% of our viewers thinking it was going to be under 6.5 crashes and cautions. You are the winners. And don't forget, vote for the Fans' Choice Award before tonight's show's over. Right now, I'm showing what looks to be 16 votes so far here tonight. Justin Brooks going the wrong way on pit road. I'm pretty sure that's not a sanctioned decision. Oh, I know where he's going, to victory lane here. He lost? I can't get a camera angle over there. Unfortunately, for some reason, we don't have a camera angle pointed at the sign. Your guess is as good as mine. Why? Budget cuts. We're going to get our drivers up here to victory lane. We've got Brooks, we've got Williams. We're waiting on Mr. Scotty Phillips, the number 23 machine. And looks like the gang is all here. We're going to start things off with Scotty Phillips, number 23. Scotty, welcome to the top 3. And man, no breaks given between you and your brother in that one the last 20, 30 laps.
Yeah, man, it was an awesome run. It was an awesome run. It was a blast.
Now, how cool is that to be able to run side by side? I think it was 10 or 15 consecutive laps with a family member, keeping it clean and knowing that you're battling out with your own blood for the final podium spot here at the Triple Crown.
Oh, it was awesome, man. I know he can hold it down there and run me clean, so I'm sure he thinks the same of me. So we were battling it out. It was awesome.
Now, Scotty, did you expect to have any green flag runs here tonight, or were you thinking it was going to be a short run drive all the way through?
I thought there'd be more cautions toward the later end just because of how bad the tire wear was. It was hard to hold onto your tires the whole time. It was a slow pace at the start. But it was surprisingly pretty clean, I thought.
Well, it looked like a ton of fun for out there for you guys. Cool to see the two brothers battling so hard. A lot of fun for us up here in the booth. And Scotty, before I let you go and unwind from this one, who do you want to give a shout to that helps make it happen here tonight?
Just shout out you, man. It's pretty cool what you do. I watch it every week. Shout out the Spark guys and everybody that helps us run. And I'll shout out my brother for my rap again. And that awesome race that we had. Thanks.
Awesome. Scotty, a pleasure, bud, and hopefully we'll have you up here in races to come.
For sure. Thank you, man.
That was Scotty Phillips bringing it home. And third, up next, we've got Mr. RJ Williams joining us, the number 21 machine. RJ, a clean race for you and Brooks, 1 and 2. And I know each restart had the opportunity for a little bit of excitement, but how are you able to keep that car so clean over tonight's event?
Just making sure I took care of it. That was the biggest part at the beginning of the race there. Just make sure that I didn't overdrive entry and make sure I was getting straight shots out of the corner. There for a little bit, they were started racing behind me. I got a little worried with the way that they were sending it down in the corner, but as soon as I concentrated on what I was doing, I felt like I was keeping it up under me. Brooks was just a little bit better overall. I don't think I would have had anything once he picked up pace. I mean, I was giving it all I had. He drove it a lot more balanced than what I did. I was driving it a little too tight. Had a little more right rear tire left there at the end of the race, 52%, and then 39 on the right front. So, if I could have found a way to drive it off the right rear, which I probably should have, which has been my problem all week in the late model here and the officials and stuff, and in other leagues, everybody's at North Wilkesboro this week. But all in all, great race. Happy to finish behind Brooks, but couldn't ask for a more formidable competitor out there. Always shows me respect, and I always try to give it back to him.
RJ, it was a ton of fun for us up here in the booth, finishing in the money, the number 21, a great points night all the way around. What's some other tracks coming up on the season? If North Wilkesboro hasn't been kind to you, what other ones are you looking forward to you think you can place well at?
Well, hell, I forgot we were getting money tonight, so hell yeah. Well, I get $15, something like that.
At least.
All right, so Southern National I'm looking forward to. Irwindale, maybe iffy, so, and Kern. I definitely enjoy Kern. So, all short tracks are always my sweet spot. So I'm definitely looking forward to all three of them, but definitely Southern National and Kern.
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. RJ, always a pleasure, bud. Before I let you go, who do you want to give a shout to that helps put you up in second and in the money here tonight?
Well, old James Barker, bless his heart, blew a tire there about 60 laps in. So I've got to get him working on that tire wear a little bit. If you haven't, go check out my YouTube page. It's at RJ_W21. Same on Twitch. I stream these races as well as my other leagues and officials throughout the week.
Well, you heard it here, fans. Go check him out, RJ Williams, on YouTube and Twitch. RJ, always a pleasure, buddy, and hopefully we'll have you up here more throughout the season.
That's always the goal.
Thank you, sir. That was RJ Williams bringing it into the second place spot. Up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Brooks. Welcome back, the 33 machine, and I believe that was the perfect race. I mean, qualified on pole, I think fastest lap of the race, and I want to say led every lap here as well.
Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure it is.
Now, Justin, I've got to laugh. Hearing you and RJ burn up fuel during the cautions, probably one of the funniest things I've called up here in the broadcast booth in a while. And in races past, you told me it helped a little bit over the course of a long run. But between that and seeing you cool the tires down, I think it was midway through the race, you set the fastest lap in that 33.
To be honest with you, I wasn't even trying to burn fuel like he was doing. I just saw him doing it excessively, and I was like, you know what? If he's going to do it, I'm going to mess with him and do it more just to see what he does or what he says. But if anything, it probably made the car a little bit tighter, which the setup was already tight enough as it is. I probably shouldn't have done that. But, yeah, I mean, I was trying to save the entire race. Like, I never pushed the car I don't think I pushed the car hard once until about 30, 25 to go or so. And I did for one lap. I kind of pushed it hard, and I think I ran like a high 8 or a low 9 or something like that. And I backed it back down to the O's and ones, just trying to save the right front because I knew it was going to be pay dividends there in the end.
Yeah, RJ was mentioning that as well, as he wished he drove off the right rear a little bit more. Were you able to keep that car fairly balanced over the run?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, it was shoving the nose a little bit there at the end. It could have been definitely a lot worse. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what it actually was. But I mean, at the beginning, if you pushed it, yeah, you're a little bit free. But I mean, it was like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a tight loose. You're shoving the nose coming off the corner, and then you got so much wheel into it, it starts snapping. So there at the end, it definitely wasn't loose at all. It was just like a 4-wheel slide, and just trying to manage the best it could, and just backing the corners up, rolling to the throttle, trying to keep it straight, and that's how I feel like I was pulling away there at the end.
Well, Justin, always a dominant run for that 33 machine, a fantastic points night, and in the top spot for a money race. Have to be pleased all the way around. And before I let you go unwind and start throwing dollar bills, who do you want to give a shout to that helps make it happen here for you at North Wilkesboro?
Man, I always thank you first and foremost. You're doing an excellent job each and every week on this stuff. I want to thank Spark, the league in general. Like I always say every week, it's a fun league to come in and run late model stocks. Thank everybody else in the race for putting on a pretty good race. We had some long green flag runs, so it was pretty fun to enjoy that, and definitely looking forward to the rest of the season. I think Southern Nationals up next, and that's, well, actually the last 3 tracks are actually 3 of my favorite tracks, so I'm definitely looking forward to them and trying to make some points back up since I didn't run last week.
Awesome, Justin. We're looking forward to it as well. Always a pleasure having you up here, man, and looking forward to having you back in the future weeks.
Yes, sir.
That was Justin Brooks bringing it home in the top spot. He was accompanied by Mr. RJ Williams and Scotty Phillips, rounding out the top 3. On behalf of the Rescreened LLC Late Model Regional Tour here at the Spark Racing League, my name has been James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for spending your Monday night with us, and we'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.